It's 10:15. We're gonna get into some games. We have some great games from players who are probably good. I don't know. It's Group 36, so let me just go ahead and turn. Where's the music? Let me go ahead and turn that off. I'm probably gonna have to. Yeah, there's the Starcraft music. I'm probably gonna have to increase the volume there because I usually keep it pretty low when I just am playing. So, here's our players for today. We have Advil, SpaNiarD, JiffyMix, Kraazy, and Type 100. They're probably good, maybe. Yeah, that's about all I have to say. We're going all the way back to preseason. Let's go ahead and hop into our first game, which is going to be, I think it's Advil versus SpaNiarD. And once we get into the game, we can fix some of our audio issues there. So, yeah. Alright, where's OBS? Now switch that over to Starcraft, and then there we go. Easy. Alright. Oh god, do I not? I don't have my overlay up. Hold on. Oh god, something's wrong here. Where's the CPL overlay? Oh, okay. I think we fixed it. Minimap, overlay, StarCraft. This looks right. RIP, I advertised they should be coming in. We don't see. Yeah, I was fixing the overlay. It's fine. It's fine. We're only. There's a slight delay. Oh no. Oh damn, also the chat is way too big. Hold on, let me just get this out of the way while nothing is happening in the game. Gonna just reduce that size there, tuck it in the corner so it's not taken up. There's slight delay with chat and when it appears, so okay. So this should be about where we want it to be. Alright, in the top right corner as our brown Terran player, we have IRK Advil. And in the bottom left corner as our olive green Protoss, we have BSL SpaNiarD getting in their ladder games 6 months ago for BSL. Advil getting that on-ramp wall set up. So they might be expecting a sort of a cheesy 2-gate play, which is a bit hard to do on Polypoid, especially because the middle's unbuildable. There's like very specific like there's 4 very specific places that you can build double gateway, like when you come out from your base, but it's like really hard to actually memorize and plant them there. Second gateway going down, cybernetics core going down. Pretty standard Protoss stuff going on over there. Terran just getting their SCV to come down and start building. It looks like it'll be a factory first. Yeah. No zealot out of the gateway, going straight to Dragoons in range. And Advil will eventually get this SCV scout off, even though they picked the absolute worst scouting pattern in terms of like distance traveled, going here, then down here, then over here. So yeah, they definitely delayed their scout for no really good gain. Dragoon coming out to go put on pressure. It's going to catch this SCV. Ooh. One shot. Now the SCVs are actually the best worker unit in the game, so with 20 HP it's going to be able to get the full scout off and see exactly what SpaNiarD's up to. The Dragoon meanwhile is going to come over here thinking that's where the Terran's at, and they're not. So that's going to buy Advil some time to get their bunker up and get their Marines situated. Second Dragoon does finish off Advil's SCV, so the scouting potential has been diminished. Now we just need to see if, like, looks like SpaNiarD's going to be going for an expansion, so pretty standard play there. Nothing too crazy, no Dark Templar, no scout rushes. And the Dragoons are just going to go and come over into the top right corner, start putting pressure on the bunker, you know, as you do. Engineering bay going up in the main, just in case there is going to be a weird drop or DT. And with that, oh jeez, the pain. It's like 1 pixel too far and the Dragoons get killed, and then 1 pixel too far back and they're too dumb to actually start firing on the bunker. So double Dragoons, the tank is going to come out. That's going to cause the Dragoons to retreat. Or they're going to play the weird footsies game of trying to get the tank to overextend so that they can get pot shots off it, and and maybe kill it. Oh no, there is an error with the pathing here. So these 4 Dragoons could already have been over here, but one of the Dragoons rallied to the ramp to act as the door, and he's not letting his brother through. You know, when you're kids and you would hold the door shut, and somebody, like, you know, your sibling or whatever would try to open it, and you're just putting your full body weight on it. That's what that Dragoon was doing there. But we can't really blame them, being as how they are literal, like, minutes old. So, you know, I'm sure I'm sure we all were pretty spiteful when we were literal minutes old. Starcraft is really just about, you know, abusing child labor. No one lives past being an hour. It's pretty fucked up. I mean, and that's like literal in the case of the Zerg. Like, you literally are just spawning babies and then sending them to war. Okay. Yeah, this is a solid play from both our players. We have 2 armories coming up for Advil somewhere on the map. I'm guessing this is at least one of them. Oh, there's the second one. That's interesting. So yeah, the 2 armories are going to come up, so that's going to be good timing for their upgrades. Dragoons coming out from the Protoss, because we can only build 1 unit for like the first 10 minutes of the game. But it does look like we're going to be getting some Reaver drops, which is a fun style. There are missile turrets in place to kind of prevent that, and there are, of course, siege tanks everywhere. So I'm not sure how much, like, the Reaver, like, how much dropping will work for the Reavers. And head-on fights, like, engagements can be a little tricky. So I'm really interested to see in what SpaNiarD does with it. The Vulture does get around, but it's 1 Dragoon shot will kill it. So he's just going to hide in the tree. The first observer in position. Ooh. Dang. Dragoons? Vultures take so many Dragoon shots. It's insane. But with the photon cannon coming up over here, it looks like SpaNiarD is playing really solidly. They should be safe from any run-bys. I guess theoretically a Vulture could, like, maybe sneak in right here and start taking pot shots at this section of the mineral line, but that's a lot of effort for not much gain. Okay, so Citadel of Dune is coming down. We are getting faster shuttle speed. The gravitic drive. Extra gateways are being added on ahead of, you know, Terran adding on extra factories. So the general metric, if you're a Protoss player or you're a Terran player and you're in this matchup, is that at some point in the game, probably around this time maybe, Oh, the vultures are going to see this drop. At some point in the game, like, the Protoss basically wants to maintain twice as many gateways as the Terran has factories. So we should be seeing, well, actually, SpaNiarD's going up to 7 gateways, so their production will be a little bit greater than their Terran counterpart. But we should see a 4th factory added on here pretty soon, and then an extra gateway for 8 gateways and 4 factories. 3rd is being taken by advil, which means that SpaNiarD is going to want to be looking to take their 4th here pretty soon. Unfortunately, that spider mine is going to deny the placement until an observer can get up there. So, SpaNiarD will just go ahead and set up their pylons and all the surrounding architecture. Yeah. Oop. There it goes. Templar Archives, Zealot leg enhancements, and then how's our upgrades looking? +1, +0, so +2 should start here pretty soon, so that it'll still be a bit ahead of +1 armor. Yep, there's the science facility. Oop. Alas. And you see the Dragoons are sort of roaming around the map looking for the straggling vultures. And that should... Yeah, there they go. Alright. So SpaNiarD's probably going to want to expand down here at some point. Here comes the drop. It might be able to finesse its way into maybe this corner right here and scarab into the mineral line. But with the way that the missile turrets are set up, it'll be really... I guess theoretically it might be able to like come up here, come down in between these two, and try to drop right here to hit this side. Nope, it looks like... Ooh, nope, 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 yeah. So that's going to see the missile turrets and then turn around because that shit would just die for free. And there's like one whole Reaver in there. Forge being built by SpaNiarD, 2nd forge of the game. Adding on the extra gateways, going up to 4, 8, 9 gateways. Maybe 1 or 2 more to contend with the Terran here. Yeah, Vulture's just remining the bottom right base, remining some of the attack lines, just to ensure that they can kind of put pressure on the Protoss's movements. Yeah. +1 air weapons, so we might be looking at a carrier transition here. Well, we definitely are looking at a carrier transition here. Yep, double Stargate. Easy. Easy game. Okay, Terran GG can GG now. The big I win buttons are coming out. Oh, another probe gets killed, this time by an entire biker gang. Okay, I'm going to be really careful with those high Templar because those are priority targets, but luckily the Zealots do get on top and kind of massacre them. 2nd photon cannon going down. Trying to figure out, like, you know, the gas production is pretty... Okay, they're just now starting to mine from their 3rd gas. So that's going to be really awkward making carriers with that limited gas production. Like, the minerals are completely fine. You can be shitting out Zealots for a pretty long time. But with the gas kind of being limited, it's going to be hard to keep carrier production up. Well, it looks like SpaNiarD might be more focused on just kind of banking it, like maxing out and banking it, so that the carrier transition will come after the first trade. They don't really want to build them up quite yet. Oh, never mind. They just haven't built their fleet beacon. Duh. I'm like, oh, okay, they're taking a long time to build those carriers. No, they just didn't start the fleet beacon. Okay. Hey, me too. The fuck? Yeah. These could at least be producing scouts or something. Throw the opponent off. Okay. Yeah. How's the upgrades look? Oh, no, they are building carriers now. So 2-1. So Terran is officially scary. They about to have 2-2, and then I assume they're gonna queue up 3-3. Finally, this bottom base is being taken, and pylons are getting set up to prevent vultures from running in. Ooh, big drop, but there are Goliaths, and that's not good. Also, how's the like the sound in the music? Is it too low? If so, I can turn it up. No, that probably will be better. Shit, dude. Music a bit too loud. Oh my god. Okay, let's fix that. Where's that sound? Right back down. There we go. Right there. That'll be right in between. So Terran is at 4 bases. Oh Jesus. Yeah, SpaNiarD's like super behind. They're just now getting their well no, I guess not. No, because SpaNiarD's getting their 5th base up right now, just as advil's saturating their 4th, so they're still on parity. But for Stargate Carrier, 5 Stargate Carrier, producing no carriers because we're maxed on supply. We're just hoarding the minerals. Yeah. So this is really odd. See, I would have suicided my army into like right here like 5 times by now. Because like Terran, they just sit there. They just fucking sit there. Yeah. Oh, yep, there goes the High Templar. That's what you always worry about. Yeah, but no, yeah, so at this point what we're going to be seeing is all the supply is going to be going into carriers. And SpaNiarD is basically just needs to get value out of the few ground units that they have remaining, so that when they replace it with 50 fucking carriers, you know, they've softened up the main core lead army here. Because the funny thing is, right, you can kind of bait and switch the Terran, because it doesn't matter what the Terran's production is. Like, what matters is how many Goliaths they have at the moment they're engaging the carriers. So, like, if the Terran maxes out their supply and they can't start building a shitload of Goliaths before the carriers start fighting them, you kind of can, like, just kill them. And then eventually, like, you know, they'll be trickling Goliaths out of the factories, but, oh, Jesus Christ. Well, that's a pretty good trade. 80-ish Protoss supply for 40-ish Terran supply. More than that because the Terran started building a bit earlier. Now, the big question is, there were only 3 carriers before that fight, so does Advil have the momentum to just come over here and start killing this base? Also, just shout out, both players are at 71 workers, which is a lot, which is good. So, also, first time chat from Memnon. Back at you. Yeah, build workers. It's really good. You get a lot of money that way. Yeah. So there goes this tank. He came a little bit too close to the sun. We're going to have a big drop. I don't even know what's in these things. Zealots? Oh, Zealot bombs. Yeah. This pack of tanks is super dead at this point. That's so cool. Yeah, that's so many spider mines. Good thing there's friendly damage. Okay, missile turret. Science vessel taken out. That's not a missile turret. And we're up to still 4 carriers, but there's going to be 9 here soon. Advil just has to not die, and then they'll be able to come out and start killing these things. And I think SpaNiarD needs to not die, and then they can come out and start killing things. Advil, meanwhile, they're still building siege tanks and vultures, which is the wrong thing to do at this point. I don't know if they didn't scan the 5 fucking Stargates, but yeah, this needs to be all Goliaths at this point. We don't need vultures at all in this game, because yeah. So I think I listen, if I was gonna place a bet at 20 minutes into this game, I'd say that SpaNiarD's probably got it, just because they're hitting that point where they have that critical mass of carriers, and advil doesn't have like the banked up Goliath army to deal with it. Like, if these carriers, this base can die and this base can die, and if the carriers just fly around here, oh my god, that's a lot of missile turrets. Never mind. That is a lot of this. Advil's playing turret defense, apparently. They have a civilian tucked away in the corner that turns the lights off so they can stack missile turrets. Cause that's a shitload of missiles. What the fuck? See, this is, I almost wouldn't have engaged here, just because now, like, we have 6 Goliaths in the making, whereas if those carriers floated over here, because now by the time the carriers, nope, they're just gonna straight up fight. Okay, never mind. Yeah, Advil is expanding to their 5th base, which will kind of get them the space for free too. Advil or SpaNiarD isn't really putting any pressure on with their carriers. They're clearing spider mines, which is not what carriers should do, but they're finally going to float over here. They need to put pressure, like maybe you can wedge them up here and take out this 3rd base and then sort of work your way up this missile turret line to get on top of the factories. But yeah, like that, yeah, them just chilling in the center and over here, that is a lot of, oh, storm, oh. What a sick, yeah, we need some zealots in this shit. Let's get storms. Actually, where are the Goliaths at? Oh, they're all running down here. So, actually, if SpaNiarD comes in here, just starts fighting these missile turrets, I'm pretty sure the carriers actually do just beat this many missile turrets. Missile turrets are shitty. All the Goliaths will have to try to come up the ramp to fight. Look how fast these missile turrets can melt. Yeah, this is, I think SpaNiarD just wins, because now all these Goliaths have to retreat, and they have to all fight up this ramp. So if the carriers are just, like, oh god, just, see, this is the thing where it's like, just don't mind, just A-move them. Because it's fine micro, but you don't, just A-move at this point. A-move and then, like, retreat the wounded ones. Oh geez, now they're getting sandwiched on both sides, which is the worst. See, the carriers, they needed to fight and then get over these factories. They just needed to eat the damage and take out the Goliaths in the main. So, because once, like, you get once that starts happening, it's easy. You win the game from there. But the moment that SpaNiarD comes back out and retreats sort of over this ledge here, it gives way more room for Advil's Goliaths to come up and get surface area on them. Wow. But in the midst of this, SpaNiarD is kind of remaxing a ground army, so it might be able to put pressure on these bottom right bases again. You know, the carriers, they lost a couple, but there's still about 1 control group worth. I was about to lose another one for free. How many interceptors are on these guys? They should still be, they're still around maxed. See, because now Advil has morphed entirely into Goliath production, which is kind of a good point for SpaNiarD to maybe switch over to just building more Dragoons and Zealots. Because notice that SpaNiarD hasn't been replacing their supply with carriers. It's been all in the ground army, which is kind of a good bait and switch, because Terran has to respect the carriers and build this many Goliaths. But Goliaths suck against Dragoons, so if you can sort of... If they mistime how they switch their army composition, you can kind of catch them off guard, especially if you've sort of threaded or you've limited how many tanks they've had from previous engagements. And then sometimes this shit like this will happen and the Goliaths have to waddle across the map. And now there's a bunch of Dragoons here that are going to deal with these Goliaths, and we're going to have Storm. A sick Storm. Oh! I'm sorry, were we watching PVT? Because they looked like Hydralisks there for a second. Because Hydralisks, when you storm on them, they die really fast. Because that's the joke. Yeah, so that's... Okay, yeah. That's the joke. GG, game's over. SpaNiarD takes it because, Pusagi. Yeah. Carrier's good unit. Yeah, there's our scores. 20,000 to 205,000 to 160,000. Let's see. Yep, see? Yeah. Interesting. Only lost 185 units. Alright, let's stop looking at pointless stats and let's move over to our next game while I move the... Oh, okay, there we go. While I get that loaded up, look at this fun splash screen of all the other players that might be playing. Our next match is going to be JiffyMix versus Advil and a Zerg versus Terran. So no Protoss allowed. We've eliminated them. They've been taken out of the equation. So now we can play some real good old-fashioned Starcraft. Alright, where's OBS? Okay. Alright, there we go. In the top right corner of Polypoid, playing as the light mustard yellow Zerg, we have JiffyMix. In the bottom left, playing as the brown Terran, we have Advil, come to reclaim their honor by beating up their last opponent's little brother. Which, again, is entirely lore accurate, technically. Yeah. DVZ is a good matchup. It's about, you know, micro and macro. Yeah. Overlord scouting counterclockwise. That's what you do with Overlords on Polypoid. A supply depot being built in the main, so no expansion wall going down from Advil. Yeah. Pretty standard stuff coming from our players. Looks like it's going to be a 12-something. Yeah, double drones right as the Overlord spawns. The question is whether it's going to be a 12 pull or a 12 hatch. It looks like it's going to be a 12 hatch as the drone goes down to expand. And the Terran is going to go and scout. Barracks being built. Right, so we should be seeing... I think this is supposed to be... Oh no, that's just a scout. Oh shit, Advil's like super worried. Hey, if there are Terrans here, is like the double scout normal? Or is this like a I don't want to get cheesed out play? Because I feel like this is supposed to be a I don't want to get cheesed out play, but at the same time they haven't done anything that's like... That seems like super risky. You know? Like they haven't built like a command center with no bunker yet. Oh, they're going for a factory expand. Interesting. So this is probably going to be more of like a pressure build from Advil, and they want to confirm their opponent's location before they start pumping out units. But Advil going for that layer, as you do. Not a lot of Zerglings, so they should be going straight into Spire to get Mutalisks pretty fast. So then now I wonder what the... Hold on, this is a Protoss. Wait. So you build the factory and then you expand, and then what's the play out from there? I don't... Is this the Goliath build? Does that build expand off of the first factory? Yeah, this doesn't seem right, just because now these Zerglings are going to 100%... Well, no, the Vulture's going to be out by the time they get over there, so that maybe they won't deny it. Because they don't have speed yet. So I guess Advil might just be going for a pure, like... They might just be going Mech Terran, and this is how Mech Terran plays. Jesus. Oh, okay, that's what was going on. My mouse sensitivity was wrong. I was trying to figure out why. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, Sunken Colony's going to go up in the expansion so that the... Oh, bye-bye SCV. Yeah, Zerglings get into the main, but we already have a Vulture here ready to sort of deal with that. Oh. Pretty good micro there from Advil, saving the Vulture from getting surrounded and killed. Yeah. So with the Spire coming up, and Advil knows the Spire's coming up, they aren't building any engineering bays. So I think, yeah, it does seem like they are just going to be going straight into the Goliaths. Yeah, second factory coming up. So the Goliaths will deal with the Mutalisks in some way. Though there's the engineering bay. I'm just wrong. There be the Charon boosters, and now I guess the big question will be, what the fuck do Mutalisks do at this point? Like, I think Mutalisks actually fight Goliaths pretty well, if you can get, like, good hits off. But, yeah, it looks like Advil is going to have their missile turrets up, a couple in the main going up. I think, like, the benefit of going Goliath is you don't actually need as many missile turrets as the bio players, because these are, like, Goliaths are missile turrets. Alright, here we go. Here they come. Well, oh, okay. Yeah, that's not really... I wonder if, like, you know your opponent is going for, like, mass Goliaths. Like, what is, like, a hard counterplay? Like, if you were to just spam shit out Zerglings with all this larva, and then just Zergling flood a Goliath-like player, like, this would, like, 20 Zerglings would probably kill this, right? I guess that's what the vultures are for, is to scare them out of zerglings. Oh yeah, see, that's really interesting. They just dived. They dived a bit too far forward, though. They probably just needed to poke over because they're going to lose a lot of Mutalisks to this. Also, JiffyMix is getting Burrow, which is a choice. So they... What is this? What was that? Why? What did that accomplish? We didn't kill any... Well, I guess we soft reset the Goliath count, maybe? You need Burrow for Lurker. Ah, yes. Actually, maybe it's... No. Blizzard are cowards. They should have let every Zerg unit burrow. Like, the Mutalisk should have just fucking face-planted into the ground. And been able to burrow. Alright, so here comes... I don't know what the Zergling... So this is the Burrowling. We're gonna follow him. And see what the, Well, no. Do you think it could have been a misclick? Maybe their burrow hotkey is like right next to the Overlord speed hotkey? Yeah, no. 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 Well, that's one way to burrow. Yeah. Mutalisk looking to try to get in the main. I mean, it's a 12 stack of mutas. It could maybe at least pick off the missile turrets. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, JiffyMix is just still making Mutalisks. I don't know what... Well, okay, no, they're gonna finally start maybe switching over to Hydras. The Hydralisk Den and Evolution Chamber are both coming up. Oh, there's our burrow. Look at this guy. What a guy. It's F6, yeah, that resets the camera. Okay, yeah. So it's just, you know, bad spider mines. And here comes another Muta sweep. But they're diving a bit too deeply. They are getting good kills on the SCVs, but they do need to escape before the entire Goliath army gets there. I think they might get the siege tank though. Pretty good. We lost one Mutalisk, I think, from that. That's not too bad. But here comes the big attack. So this base is definitely dying. And then this base is probably also definitely dying. I mean, that's a lot of Goliaths, and you need way more than one sunken colony, right? Jeez, they melt through that. 12 damage on every attack. Oh, and here comes the... Dude, this is really good movement out. Like, the SCVs come out and they immediately get those missile turrets started. Now, JiffyMix has been moving over to Hydralisks, but with no range upgrades and no actual attack or defense upgrades, I think the Goliaths at 1-1 will just absolutely tear through the Hydras. It's not like Dragoons, where Dragoons only do half damage. Like, these things are doing the full 12, and they attack pretty fast. I guess they do have to be careful, because now with the Hydras, they at least have to, you know, make sure they don't get sandwiched between Hydras and Mutalisks. But, you know, siege tank coming up. Missile turret's going to cover the back flank, so the Mutas can't just come up here. And once that sunken colony dies, it will just be a straight up just... Oh. There goes the Sunken. Overlords are going to get picked off as well since they're just kind of here. And this should be GG for JiffyMix. Yeah, they should be leaving here shortly as the tank moves up. The mutas are going to try to get up here, but there's enough here that they're going to get shredded pretty quickly. Wow. That actually is pretty crazy. Yeah. Oh, this base is about to get killed by that vulture single-handedly. Yep, there goes the eggs. Overlord's getting taken out very quickly. I mean, like I said, like I think once you have this many Goliaths, like just moving into the Sunken Colony is worth it. It's worth more than the loss of tempo that you're giving your opponent when you back up. Yeah. These guys are just chilling. They're on their break. They don't. Their guns aren't working. They're having to fix them real quick. These three right here, they don't know what they're doing. Okay, there we go. I'm glad that other units sometimes act as dumb as Dragoons. It makes me feel a bit better about myself. That's the game, yeah. Advil takes it. They played really well, yeah. Goliath, good unit. There's our score, 63,000 to 50,000. Just some interesting numbers here. All right. Here, look at this overlay again. As I get our third game of the day set up. Which is going to be JiffyMix versus Kraazy. So, yeah. It's kind of the theme. Now it's JiffyMix's turn to try to redeem themselves against... Oh, I probably should have checked. I think Kraazy is a Terran. Yeah. So another TVZ. So JiffyMix is going to try and reclaim their honor against the human menace. And we'll just get right into it. Where's OBS? There we go. Oh, OBS. All right. In the bottom left corner, as our green Terran player, new to the scene, we have Kraazy. In the top left corner, coming back for the revenge match, I guess, we have as the Olive Zerg JiffyMix. Okay. Yeah. It's gonna be a good match, maybe, probably, hopefully. Here, watch this Overlord move as he discovers what his life, his passions, and his he's going on a journey to find himself over at the Terran base. I'm gonna go refill my coffee. Okay, we're back. Has the Overlord discovered his new life? No. I guess technically he has not confirmed that the Terran is here. So... Okay, there we go. Terran is getting their second base up, so a bit more standard here. They're just going straight barracks into command center, and it looks like CrazyMix did a 12 hatch again on this map. Hatch gas pool. The classic. Yep, same stuff. We're gonna have a layer coming up, 3 pairs of Zerglings to just, you know, put pressure on. But other than that, we're gonna go straight into Mutalisks again, although this time our Terran player will not be going into Goliath, so we'll get more of a standard game. It'll be interesting to see how they play when they don't have, how the Terran plays when they don't have something that kind of counters the Mutalisks. Zerglings. Oh. Clearing all those Marines. Ooh, they were really close to getting an SCV. I think if they had gotten the SCV, that would have been an insane trade. 3 pairs of Zerglings for 3 Marines and an SCV. But getting just the 3 Marines is pretty good, too. Technically, they only traded 5 Zerglings, so technically, that was just mathematically a good trade for JiffyMix. But Kraazy's gonna know that mutas are coming. They get the full scout on. They're getting their academy up, getting into the bio stuff, and then we should be seeing an engineering bay and then a bunch of missile turrets come down here pretty soon. Yep, and it looks like this SCV should get taken out. Ooh, one more hit. There he goes. Yep. Oh, and JiffyMix is going for the little sneak hatch in the top right corner. I guess, is it a sneak hatch if the Terran knows that this is where the Zerg is going to be expanding eventually? It just seems a little bit early. Maybe. Alright, so here comes another wave of Zerglings. Which I think these are just mostly to replace the previous one because it's another 3 pairs, so they're just trying to maintain their map presence so that, you know, the Terran stays boxed in and the Zerg can kind of get the Mutalisks over here for free. Now engineering bay is up. We're getting +1 and missile turrets, 3 going up in the natural, so this should be relatively safe for Mutalisks. JiffyMix getting +1 flyer attack, so they're definitely going to be a bit more aggressive. And it seems like, yeah, based on the last game and based on them getting that flyer attack, it seems like they really like dedicated to that Mutalisk play. So I doubt we'll see like a lurker transition or something like that for the mid game. It seems like they might just double down on mutas. There's an attack. Mutas, they're really hungry to get these medics killed. Taking out that supply depot is a good idea. It frees up a lot of space for the Marines to run through. Nope. The Mutalists doing their job, just keeping the tax on, you know, the Marine count, so that it never gets threatening enough to walk across the map. Yeah, because JiffyMix Skimp, they don't even have a sunken colony built. So, oh, here comes a full attack trying to get on top. This doesn't look like it worked. There weren't quite enough Zerglings for this to be scary. And we also have, ooh, these Marines up here. But yeah, I mean, really great play out of this, out of JiffyMix this game. Here come the Hydras. So maybe we are going to see the Lurkers. Never mind. Yeah, we're going to see the Lurkers anyways. Hydras, Queen's Nest. Yeah. We're going to be moving up into Hive and probably seeing, you know, the usual Defiler Lurker stuff. What's the camera right? 6 Mutalisks. Still enough to be scary, but not enough to really threaten like a game-ending mistake. So are we still waiting for plus? Are we still waiting for +1 on them? We still are. Jeez, that upgrade takes a while. That is a long way. Yeah. So Lurker aspect being evolved. Yeah, 3 sunken colonies being thrown down. And we're going to see that switch. This should become a Hive in just a few moments, and then we should see the Defiler Den drop as well. It seems like Kraazy hasn't scouted this 3rd base yet. Oh no, they have scan there. Okay. So they should know that this base exists, so this is going to be the pressure point. Yeah, they definitely know it exists now. This is going to be the pressure point that Kraazy needs to push on. Because if JiffyMix is able to maintain this base and keep that 3rd gas pumping, then they're going to be able to afford all the Defilers and Lurkers they need to run through the Marines. But as of right now, I'm not actually sure where Jiffy's income is going. There's the Hive. I don't really... Oh, we do have... Well, we have a Lurker morphing over here. Oh, nope, there it is. There's the army. I just wasn't paying attention. There's a lot of Mutalisks. And baiting out stims. Draining the medic energy is really important. Yeah, strike force coming over here, but it will have to fight through the Lurkers. There's going to be at least 4 Lurkers here eventually. Science facility coming down from Kraazy. Is that it? Nope. 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 There it is. Yeah, science facility coming down for Kraazy. Immediately starts that irradiate upgrade. Hive just about finished for JiffyMix. Double Evo chamber right away. And the Mutas are diving into the mineral line here, taking out the missile turrets, but really good SCV repairs, keeping them up. Yeah, that was potentially really dangerous for our Terran. Also, hold on. I was about to be like, yeah, their SCV count was about to drop dangerously low, and I'm like, oh, it's 59 SCVs to 31 drones. Yeesh. Yeah, there we go. Yep, Nidus Canal's coming up to link the 2 bases together, solidify the defenses there. Adrenal glands coming for the Zerglings, and of course the Defiler chamber. Defiler mound is going to come up as well. It looks like the Mutalisks are completely dead at this point, only 1 left. And now, yeah, JiffyMix is going to be making Scourge instead to deal with these science vessels. Oh, here comes the Lurkers coming out to... Yep. Well, how much... Yeah, no upgrades on the Lurkers at this point. Do they at least have +1? Where's a Hydra? They have no upgrades at all versus Kraazy having +1/+1. Oh, well, you need a scan. Yeah, this is definitely not a good idea because it's going to... you want to hold the ramp unless you are like fully committed to having an army down here to defend this. well. Never mind, lurkers are just a good unit, I guess. Yeah. Okay, it looks like this base is going to get set up. Kraazy's kind of half committing to attacking the main and attacking the expansions, but they are getting their 3rd and 4th set up, which is going to be really good. Like, so despite all this, like, Kraazy isn't actually getting any damage done, quote unquote, but they are forcing the Zerg to play defense and stay in their base, which means that that's not good. Oh no. Yeah, that was a lot of Marines. But they're cheap. They're meant to die. But yeah, no, so like Kraazy's been keeping the Zerg in their oh, never mind, they actually yep, here they go, deny this base. Huh. We go with Filer and Lurker coming down, so that should be enough to kind of reestablish this. Jiffy needs like twice as many workers, I think. I think this is really just, it looks like it's completely lopsided, and it is just because Kraazy has twice as many workers and is fielding way more units than Jiffy can. Like, Jiffy is just a little bit too resource starved to actually keep up with the like waves and waves of units that Kraazy is sending out. Unless Kraazy just tries to attack lurkers under Dark Storm, which, you know, is always ill-advised. Oh, nope, Irradiate goes down. There they go. They're doing their best. Oh, and the Marines come in to sacrifice their lives for the medics to run. To run. Oh no. Yeesh. That's not good. Oh, there they go. One of them gets out. The hero Marine. This hatchery cannot stand. He is, everyone salute to the real boys in green. Dude, that is a lot of damage on that hatchery for free. Oh, it doesn't even reach. This one will have single-handedly dealt like half this hatchery's HP. Run, run, get out of there. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Alright, you need to irradiate the lurkers. No. Listen. Oh god, now the ultras are coming out. No. Well, at least Kraazy's getting their 4th and presumably a 5th base up at some point. So this is mixing the fire bats was probably a really good idea. That Ultralisk has accepted its fate. Oh my god. It's pretty wild that I think JiffyMix actually has a chance again. So oh no, we're gonna have the battle cruisers come in. Yeah, okay. Sure. Where's the science facility with the thing? Oh, wow, it's just out in the front like that, huh? Okay, that's Plague-Goo and Ultralisk. So Kraazy's just kind of... So this is, yeah. This is a learning moment for the folks at home who are... Closing games is really important. Oh, never mind. Here comes the battle cruisers. Which, don't make Scourge to fight battle cruisers. It doesn't work. They one-shot them sometimes. And you have to use way more than... you think. Well, I guess, you know, sometimes it works, I guess. Here's 2 more, though. Yeah. This is why closing games out are really important, and I guess we're seeing, like, you know, why the conventional wisdom is don't let your Zerg get the 3 gas, because they can survive on the cutthroat edge for a pretty long time. Oh, the eraser. The classic move. And there's the burrow to counter it. Wow. Wow. Real pro plays. Why did I say that so fast? These are legitimately good plays. And the Ultralisks and the Capital Bruisers. No Yamato cannon? For shame. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, you really... So, battle cruisers are kind of like carriers in that you want a critical mass of them, because just 1 or 2 battle cruisers on their own don't actually do that much extra damage. And it's really easy for the Zerg to get Scourge on top of them. Like, when you're at, like, 5 to 6 battle cruisers, and, like, when Scourge are flying at them, they one-shot 5 to 6 Scourge immediately, right? So that's already, like, 1 battle cruiser's worth of Scourge that you've killed. And then if you're really lucky, you can get 2 volleys off on the incoming Scourge, and then you've killed, like, an entire control group of Scourge, which is enough for your battle cruisers to not die at all. Okay, well, here comes a full attack. It looks like this one should be enough to clear this base. The Nidus Canal, I don't think it's connected to anything as of yet, so it should fall through really quickly. Yeah, no reinforcements. This base is going to die. And yeah, see, so that was like 6 Scourge. So that's a lot of gas that you don't want to waste. And then, yeah, see, they one-shot them. Now, this push up in the main is maybe a little questionable, but they do need to get the plays in, and there isn't anything here to defend it. There is 1 lurker here. And so we will want to see the scan. But yeah, the Marines are getting caught up on the hatchery. They aren't helping kill the sunken colony, which is really bad. But at the same time, I completely ignored that the main is just gonna die now, or the natural rather. But I mean, this is the main natural. And yeah, this should be game here. Yeah, GG's, JiffyMix calls it. They put up a really good fight, but I think they just eventually got starved of resources. Yeah. They needed to get that extra expansion out, and for a second it looked like they were going to be able to, but I think the lack of workers definitely screwed them that game. All right, let's switch this our OBS back to our overlay as I get our 4th game set up of this preseason CPL cast. It's gonna be JiffyMix versus SpaNiarD. So we're gonna be seeing a ZVP. We're gonna get all of our matchups out of the way. Yeah, except for mirror matchups. ZVP, we're going to still be on Polypoid because these were preseason games. And let's go ahead and hop into it. Just jam it out. In the top right-hand corner of Polypoid 1.65, we have JiffyMix playing as the dark blue, or just the blue. This is just the blue Zerg. It's not the dark blue. In the top left, BSL SpaNiarD. This is, well, hey, you know what? We kind of worked this out. This is kind of like the losers bracket. Wait, no, SpaNiarD won their game. Never mind. Never mind. My brain worms just told me that Tasagi happened and that, of course, the Zerg and the Protoss players both lost, but no, it's SpaNiarD won their games. Because Protoss OP. Overlord scouting over, Pylon placed and Pylon scouted. Or scout sent on Pylon. We'll be able to go over and see what the Zerg is doing. First scout, we do have a, I think, yeah, a 9 pool. A 9 pool setup. Coffee. And the extractor, so we are going to have, nope, that was just an extractor trick. Oh, some damage being done on the drones. What's really funny is that, I like, if somebody started attacking my workers off of a scout like that, they would probably get 1 killed before I noticed it. Because I'm just so used to, like, oh, it's just a scout, they're just gonna run around and be annoying, that I'll sometimes just ignore it, and then I'll have lost 2 probes, and it's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, hold on. Okay, Forge and Cannon going up, so good plays there, getting all the defenses set up against a more aggressive opening with the pool first. So they should be able to get the, whoa, wait, hold on. Did they mess up their pylon placement? Because the Forge is going to go here, the gateway needs to go here, but the gateway is going to have to come out like this, and then there's a whole big hole right there. That's not good. I think the pylon's supposed to be 1 over. Yeah. Well, no, I guess this should be tight and this should be tight. So this should maybe just be like a 2 zealot hole right there. And that should be the only thing that's empty there. Oh, probe's still scouting. Oh, that's a pretty fast cybernetic score. Yep, there's the transfer. Yeah, so SpaNiarD is just trying to like scout out what the tech is at this point. They need to confirm hydras, or they need to confirm just anything. So I think the last moment they should be able to catch the lair. And then the question is going to be when the Hydra Den comes down. And I think it's supposed to start, it should have started at when the lair was at 50% if it was going for, like, actually going for Hydras. But, given what we've seen previously out of JiffyMix, it looks like we might be going for a Muta attack here in this in ZVP as well, which can be very dangerous for the Protoss player if they don't prepare, like if they don't place photon cannons in their main base ahead of time. Now, if the Zealot gets into the expansion, gets a drone, that's really good, and now should be able to hide behind the mineral lines and kill a couple of. Oh no! Wow, really good. Oh no, he does get into a corner there, but not the most efficient corner. Mineral-wise, he technically trades 2 Zerglings and a drone, but yeah, so there's the Spire, so it should have been scouted, and we do see, Stargate pumping Corsairs, and at some point we should be seeing cannons going up in the mineral lines to help defend the probes there. But yeah, Citadel coming down. It could be going for like a +1 timing attack if you get Zealot legs, which could be pretty effective against a Mutalist play, since you're mostly just pumping. Oh, and there's the cannons, so they are, prepared for that. Corsair coming over to scout will get the harassment done for free because there is no oh, well, nope, never mind. So, yeah, the Spire is just a transition into Hydralisk to get the Spire out to get Scourge. But, you do have to, when you scout Spire like that, you still have to build, oh, and that's a really cool, SpaNiarD cancels their cannons, because they see the Hydralisk in, so they know that it's not a Mutalist commit build, it's actually just for the Scourge to do that. So they're able to save some of their money with that. Alright. So at this point, what we should be seeing is JiffyMix is going to try to build up their Hydralisks, while SpaNiarD is going to get pressure out with the Corsairs and try to limit how many Overlords JiffyMix can make, but then also they need to start teching into their Templar archives, so that they will be able to have Storm in time for the big attack. Yep. Alright, I might have a few things, so. Ooh, what? Alright. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Wow. I picked the right zealot to focus the camera on. Yep. Okay, so we see a lot of Hydralisks, a lot of lurkers coming up. Protoss is sort of getting into their middle-ish game army. We have the High Templar Dragoons coming in. We should be, yeah. Robo Bay should be making, where is this? Robo Bay right in the corner of the map. Should be making observers here fairly soon to help deal with the eventual Hydralisks. Yeah, JiffyMix down is that there's going to be a base coming down here, or they will be able to see that eventually. Getting good information from the Corsair. Have yeah, both players just kind of getting up to their JiffyMix getting their 4th base, SpaNiarD getting their 3rd base, so everything's kind of in equilibrium still at this point. No big like upsets one way or the other in terms of raw production. Now JiffyMix's supply is pretty dangerously close to what SpaNiarD's is. SpaNiarD. So yeah, you know, it's always said like if you're even on supply, the Zerg is ahead. So that's the big question is, but that supply can melt really fast with a couple of well-placed storms. That has a lot of High Templar, so there's going to be a lot of storms here available to SpaNiarD when they do attack over. Okay. 4th and 5th base going up for both players. Well, Corsair has been taken out. And so yeah, SpaNiarD just roaming the map, looking for where the weak points are. And it looks like they will be able to. Oh, they need to get that lurker. Okay. So. Oh, the Zealot needs to. Oh, if the Zealot was able to run into here and get in the mineral line, there would have been a lot of really good damage done there. A lot of Dragoons coming in, which is fine. You don't need that many Zealots. Okay. Yes, SpaNiarD, it looks like they're going to try to start coming down here and trying to kill this base. And the main problem will be if they come down there and do that is trying to also defend the counterattack from JiffyMix. But as long as... Actually, okay, there's the observer. So these Zealots need to just run straight past and get into the main here. Probably is that highest now? They need to get on top of these sunken colonies. Yeah, and it looks like the observer is just going to chill and let the... You know, here comes the big attack. So the main army needs to retreat to flank this, because if it doesn't... Ooh, that's a lot of damage coming out from the Zerg. Now this base is going to die, but it might be that JiffyMix is fine with that, because JiffyMix might just win here with this army. At the very least, they're going to deny this base. What? No, okay, the High Templar are almost here. Now, if there were, like, Hydralisks sectioned off to come snipe these guys, that would have been huge. But, oh my god, we missed a huge storm there, unfortunately. But, yeah, so we're going to need to see some storms come down on these, like, lurker masses. But I don't think that's a whiff there. That's a whiff there. Oh, they're just trying their best. Okay, there's a good storm. Doesn't quite get... So it's softening up the lurkers, but it's not really killing them. I don't see an observer. No, wait, never mind. I do see an observer here. So that's... Excuse me. So that's good. There should be enough extra... No, what are you doing? Oh, why? Oh, jeez. That's... Okay, so the Dragoons will be able to help pick off these weakened lurkers. But they really need, like... They need to actually kill them. There's so many weakened lurkers here. Like, this core right here is insane in how much damage it's doing. Now, the retreat, these units coming back to help defend will help a lot, but we lost so many High Templar that I don't think... I think the SpaNiarD's ability to sustain this fight is greatly reduced. Because now, like, JiffyMix reinforcing with just Hydralisks will absolutely slaughter what SpaNiarD is reinforcing with, because you need those High Templar to be able to fight the Hydras. So this is... I mean, I feel safe to say that this is going to be the game over right here. Because now JiffyMix just has to put pressure on the expansion here. And... yeah, just keep reinforcing it. They still have plenty of income. Oh, SpaNiarD going for a little ninja expansion down that way. Interesting. But here comes the Dark Swarm. I think that's going to be its... Like, you Dark Swarm over here, you get the Hydras under, and these Photon Cannons are worthless. We see a couple of High Templar coming in, but you can also look at the, you know, the supply. JiffyMix has 30 more supply. Their economy is way better. They have plenty more of a... oh, where's the Dark Swarm? There we go. Yeah, and with the Zealots kind of cleaned up, those Hydras are given so much extra room. Oh, that's a really good storm there. Unfortunately, they need to also capture the lurkers in it. Oh, we have 3 more High Templar there. SpaNiarD can live for a little bit, but I don't think he can convert living for a little bit into a win at this point. Like, these Hydras are going to start roaming the map looking for hidden expansions. They're going to basically, like, again, like, just... Also, you can look at the production. JiffyMix is getting all these upgrades, all these extra stuff. They're getting Plague, whereas SpaNiarD is doing their best just to build units. And they're still, like, behind on supply, right? They're dwindling in their economy. Basically, JiffyMix is at a point where every time they come back and look at their base, they can build units out of all their hatcheries. And that should be the game coming up. Because once these Hydras, again, like, kind of clean through these Zealots, you can throw a Dark Swarm, like, right here. Hydras get right up in here and start killing Photon Cannons. But Storm is a magical ability, so we could be... It could work. Well, this base is dead. That's a lot of Zerglings. Yep. Ooh, that was a good storm. Unfortunate thing is, like, so Archons can one-shot Zerglings at +3 attack. Because I think they do, like, they do 30 base, and at +3 they do 39. Well, you need to have them at +3 attack, and they're only at +2 right now. Plague. Ooh, that's a lot of storms in one area. Yeah, this should be game. GG's. JiffyMix takes it again. Or takes it finally? Yeah, this is the first game they won. Taking out our winner of our first game. Yeah. Well. So in truth, it's Zasagi. Alright. Here's our splash screen again. And, yeah, we'll get ready for our 5th game of the day. We have a lot of games, okay? These preseason groups are big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our next match is going to be JiffyMix versus Type 100 in a Zerg versus Zerg, so you know it's going to be a good game. Let's go ahead and switch. Oh, let me get the game started, and then we'll switch our screen over and get right into the best matchup in Starcraft. In the top left corner as the gray Zerg, gray-blue Zerg, we have Type 100 versus their opponent in the bottom left of the gray Zerg, JiffyMix, and we're just gonna switch that over so that everything is legible. JiffyMix will be in the red and Type 100 will be in the blue. Both players sending their overlords out to scout. Both players sending their overlords out to scout. Both sending them counterclockwise, as you do. And then. Whoop. And the question will be, what our players are doing. No 5 pool, no early pools, none of that. But it does look like Type 100 is going to be getting a 9 pool, as opposed to JiffyMix, who is going to be getting an Overlord into something. We don't quite know yet. Doesn't look like it's going to be... Oh, it does look like it's going to be Overpool. Yep, Overlord, spawning pool extractor. This person, Type 100, just going for spawning pool extractor Overlord. So, very minor differences in the build, but in ZVZ that can amount to being massive. I don't remember. I don't know if one of these is particularly favored against the other. But I think that JiffyMix's build might be a little bit more favored just because you delay your Zerglings a little bit to get faster speed and tech, but they aren't delayed so much that Type 100's advantage, like them getting faster Zerglings, actually matters. Also, JiffyMix cutting one of their Zergling pairs to squeeze in an extra drone. That will be really important because that means that they have about a 10% faster economy, roughly. Type 100 actually is getting that 10th drone as well. Both players sending the Zerglings out, so this is a pretty big moment. Type 100 knows where their opponent's at. JiffyMix does not. But they're sending them up just to check. But with all the Zerglings out on the map, looks like Type 100 has a pretty good chance of being able to bust this ramp. But at the same time, Type 100 doesn't have any Zerglings on their ramp, whereas JiffyMix did have some protection. They're getting their sunken colony up. They still have plenty of Zerglings. They can fight with their drones if they have to. Okay, we're down to 1 drone to 3 Zerglings. Now these 4 are going to be able to get in, get some drones. 1 drone falls for JiffyMix. Looks like 1 drone fell for Type 100. It should be, looks like they get yeah, looks like, yeah, Type 100 did not quite get much damage done, and JiffyMix did not get quite much damage done. They're traded pretty evenly, it seems. However, Type 100 has built, well, no, they have about the same number of drones and Zerglings. But, Type 100 going ahead and getting Zergling speed, which JiffyMix has not started. It looks like they are just going to go straight into their Spire, which Type 100 will see, and they might be making the call. No, Type 100 also starting their Spire, so it looks like... Well, oh, okay. So Type 100, I think, pulled off of gas to get their income a bit... I actually have no idea what... I don't know what's happening, I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to... Somehow, Type 100, with a worse economy and more Zerglings and all this, was able, or slightly slower economy, not necessarily worse, was able to get, like, Zergling speed and their... Actually, no, hold on. JiffyMix... They both have Zergling speed. I must have missed it when JiffyMix researched it. So that means that... What does that mean? Oh, God. I don't even... there's going to be Mutalisks. That's all I know. Is there's going to be Zerglings and Mutalisks. It's a ZVZ. Type 100 has gotten a bunch of extra drones in the meantime. 13 drones to 11. Pretty big difference. It's actually a massive difference. Type 100 is going to be able to easily get their more Mutalisks out than their opponent and get Carapace at the same time. JiffyMix is going to have to mix Scourge into their army because they're behind. You generally, if in a ZVZ, you never want to be the Zerg that has to build Scourge, because that is like implicitly like, oh, you're just behind, because now the Scourge really only... The Scourge are best used as like the catch-up mechanic, where you can, you know, deal enough damage to your opponent's greater number of Mutalisks so that you can kill them. Because if you have more Mutalisks, you just build more Mutalisks. So yeah, we want to see the Scourge hit one, and then the other, and then the Mutas do the cleanup. But don't think that'll happen, as Type 100 just builds more Mutalisks. If they get the pick-off on this Overlord, that would actually be pretty huge. Yeah, so there's the supply block over on Type 100. They build 2 Overlords to compensate. And so, yeah, the Mutas get the... Oop. One Scourge does pop. That's pretty big. A lot of damage. And, yeah, JiffyMix taking advantage of the fact that their opponent's supply has been, you know, handicapped there, getting ahead in the Mutalisk count. Or getting even in the Mutalisk count, at least. Yeah. Both players going for their expansion. Uh-oh. Cancel? Oh my gosh, the actual, like... The actual balls of steel on JiffyMix to not cancel that hatchery. But here come the Mutalisks. These are, they are like, alright. Ooh, great pickoff there. Gets both Scourge killed without anything. And that looks like just way more Mutalisks for Type 100. They both decide to say, we're going to settle it and have the fight out. And it looks like Type 100 is going to come out on top. The first Mutalisk start to fall. The upgrade, no, JiffyMix comes out on top. And that wonderful running shot cleans up the rest of Type 100's Mutalisks. And, you know, it's kind of the anti-timing. If that Carapace had finished, that fight might have gone a different way. But now JiffyMix is solidly in the lead by at least 3 or 4 Mutalisks. If they wanted to, they could probably go out and start harassing Type 100's mineral lines. They actually, yeah, they could just go and win the game at this point, I think. But Type 100, they have their +1 armor. They still have a better worker count. So, I mean, they're not out of it yet. Usually when there's a big mutafight like that and one side dies, the other can capitalize on it. But of course, if they don't capitalize on it, then, you know, Type 100 can just rebuild. So we're at 9 mutalisks. 9 to 7. Yeah, yeah. This is JiffyMix's game to lose at this point, and Type 100 doesn't even have any Scourge, which can kind of be again, they can kind of help a small Mutalisk count fight a bigger Mutalisk count. But when it's like this, when one player has Scourge that are landing and the greater Mutalisk count, this should be game over right here. The best Type 100 can do is counterattack with the Zerglings and hope that they get enough damage done. But even if they do get enough damage, ooh, hold on. No, yeah, no. Yeah, +1 carapace is not going to save Mutalisks from that much of an overwhelming numbers disadvantage. And now here comes the damage on the drones. Each one goes, and Type 100 GG's, even though they kind of took control of this natural here. The sunken in the main kind of means that the Zerglings can't get too much done. So, fair GG, Type 100. JiffyMix takes it again. Seems JiffyMix is good against all types of players except Terran. Let's get our overlay back up. And we'll get into our 6th game of the day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6th game of the day. Kraazy versus Advil, and a Terran versus Terran. Let's go ahead and get into it. Where's our OBS? All right. In the top right corner, it is IRK Advil versus their opponent. In the bottom left corner, it is the blue Terran Kraazy. I'm going to go refill my coffee. I'm out of coffee, so I had to get a glass of water instead. Yeah, I did not miss. Yeah, it's the first couple minutes of a pre-war game. Not much to miss. We are gonna, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. This is actually green versus brown, not red versus blue. So, yeah. The classic TVT match of we build a supply depot, and then we build the barracks. Here comes the scout. It looks like they're both going to scout up here and then scout each other. We should be seeing factories coming out pretty soon. Marine comes out from Kraazy. Advil's going to skip it. And there's the first factory. We'll see where that goes. I mean, it could become a vulture war. It could become a factory expand. Could become a proxy bunker. Classic TVT 5-minute proxy bunker play. The friendly fire. This dude. That's gonna be important later when these 4 Marines get the fight. And alright, Vulture coming up, both players expanding. Vulture coming out from Advil. I think looks like Kraazy is also getting a Vulture. You know what? I think I have a theory for why the Terran music is the best in Brood War. It's because Terran gameplay is boring as fuck to watch. So they had to give Terran the best music to compensate. Because otherwise, people would just be falling asleep all the time watching this. Fucking riveting. Dude, he built 2 Marines and then a Vulture, and then they just fucking sit there. Well, can't handle this action-paced, high-octane gameplay. Well, I say that, but it looks like both players are going into building Vultures. So they are doing a mutual agreement of just being fuck TVT. We're playing the least TVT we can, and then just build. They're both going for the 3 factory, just spam Vultures. No bunkers. Bunkers are for cowards. So, ooh. Advil actually moving their Vultures up to kind of try and hide them. So, Advil scouts their opponent's Vultures, so they know it's Vulture play. Whereas Kraazy is going to have to fly a little bit further and almost get into the main before they can 100% confirm it. You can see the supply depot going up sort of in the natural to break the surface area that these Vultures have to run in. So Kraazy's definitely playing a bit more defensively, getting their siege tank up. That's smart. This is essentially Kraazy kind of conceding that Advil probably has the better Vulture count, and they're more concerned with just holding their base. That bunker barracks is gonna die. They're more concerned with just holding their base and making sure that they don't lose. Whereas Advil is really smartly, they're not running in, they're just sieging up, or they're just mining up the exterior here to really prevent Kraazy's tanks from being able to move out. Advil adding on a 4th and 5th factory. Oh my god, I didn't even notice. 26 SCVs for Advil to 43 to Kraazy. Yeah, Kraazy is definitely probably going to win this. But the thing is, they're even supply, so it definitely is that unless Advil could win right here, and it looks like that is actually what's going to happen, and we might just be seeing the GG here. So they can lay a spider mine that will hit this. Okay, no, really great pickoffs. Really great pickoffs by Kraazy. They're targeting down those spider mines. But yeah, well, oh no, if these spider mines land and they pop up, okay, good micro back here, but they are going to lose all these SCVs. Oh no, Kraazy's going to try to fight, and then there goes the tank, so that should be GG for Advil at this point, because they're going to be able to kill all these SCVs. They can kind of get up into the main. See, there's some more spider mines. They won't be able to kill all of these in time. It does land, and it does... Oh my god, at like 10 HP that tank lives. So Advil actually is kind of knocked down a peg. Like, so they still obviously have a greater army supply because the supplies are even. But tanks on the high ground are going to make it really hard for Advil to actually push in here. But with this tank over here, they might be able to siege forward. Oh, that was a huge spider mine. They didn't quite clear everything. And yeah, the SCV count is dwindling. These vultures are going to take this out. Oh, that tank just has to... A lot of SCVs are getting suicided over to try to take it out. It does get taken out, but look at the SCV count has now dwindled for Kraazy, meaning that their one advantage is leaving. And Advil is now 20 supply ahead, reinforcing with their army. Gonna get up here, gonna just start laying spider mines down because these are all fresh vultures. Or they should all be fresh vultures. Guess they don't have spider mines. No, they do have spider mines. So they're just focused on taking out those SCVs, and then there are the spider mines to really finish the tank off. And that is going to be GG here as Advil gets set up in the base. Hey, you know what? Whoever said TVT was a boring matchup? GG's, Advil takes it with their like pretty heavy pressure play. And we'll be moving on to our next game. As I'm going to get that set up here in just a moment. Let's see, create. Open that up. Our 7th game of the day is going to be a TVP. It's going to be Kraazy versus SpaNiarD. Wait, hold on. Yeah. And let's hop right into it. All right. In the bottom right corner, as our green Terran, we have Kraazy. And then top right, as our pink Protoss, we have SpaNiarD. Alright, well, we started the day off with carriers wiping a Terran off the face of the map. And we'll see if our second to last game of the day is going to be carriers wiping a Terran off the face of the map. Okay, so the first interesting thing that could happen here is if a Zealot was built. It was not. So we're into pretty standard stuff. Simulator. Cybernetics core, we're going to see the usual Dragoon. And this is probably just going to be a safe factory expand. Yeah. Alright. So, nothing too crazy to expect here from our second to last game here of the day. SCV scouting, pretty usual stuff. All right. SCV taken out. But I think Kraazy got enough of a scout out. They did see the cybernetics core spinning, and so they pretty much know what is going on. Both players are getting their expansion up about when they should be getting their expansion up. So that is going to be a pretty... nothing crazy again. Just regular... Ooh. Get him, Vulture. Fuck him up. That's gonna get at least 2 probes. 1, 2. Yeah, at least 2 probes. That's worth it. You can trade a Vulture for 2 probes any day. And the siege tank is out, although it will not have siege mode. So there will be... Oh no! The Dragoon micro. Oh no, and oh, if they had committed just a little bit, it was so close to dying. Oh no, there was an opportunity there. Unfortunately, there was just the slight bit of fumble, that bit of miss micro, does, you know, prevent SpaNiarD from turning this into a lot harder aggression. It was so close. It was like literally 1 shot away, and I think it was microing a Dragoon back. Yeah, but the Vulture's gonna come up. It shouldn't get too much damage done, as there are going to be Dragoons back at home defending against it. But it will be getting Spider Mines laid out to sort of keep that scout out on the map. Kraazy adding extra bits to their wall to make sure the Vulture absolutely can't get in. Ooh, saved the probe just barely. Canceled there. Gonna rebuild the... Oh, that's another pylon. Yeah. Ooh. Free damage. Can't say no to free damage. Oh, but you can say no to a... Oh, no! Dude, that is some Protoss brain. Oh my god. Fucking... Even he's aware of it. That is some peak Protoss brain. Is it's like, ooh, they sent the tank out, and then you fumble it so hard. I can feel the salt, the pain from my brother through the Kala. Unless you may not be aware of this, but all Protoss players, much like in the actual lore, we're all connected because playing Protoss, you do the same shit every game. So when you see something like that, like every single PVT I've played has something like that has happened. It's like, yes, I understand this. Nice. It's just coming in. All right, one zealot for a tank. That's a good trade. What? That's a lot of dead probes here. Relatively not that many dead probes, and SpaNiarD still is about 12-ish up. And where are those Stargates? Hell yeah. Let's get those 5 Stargates rolling, boys. Here comes an attempt at this. I don't think this is going to be serious. I think it's mostly just to try to pick off these spider mines. As soon as those tanks come up, yeah, they're going to start running away, so... Alright. there's our first Stargate. We should be seeing a... Oh, actually, with the Templar Archives and only a single Stargate, we might be seeing... Yeah, no +1 like SpaNiarD had in the first game they played. So we're probably going to be seeing the Arbiters instead. Should be interesting. Big army coming down. They're able to deny this flick. That's going to be really effective. We have a shuttle coming over here. Does this have a Reaver in it? It does, so we'll probably be trying to get a pick on some of the mineral lines that are vulnerable, if they are. Oh, no, +1 air weapons, but we are seeing the Arbiter Tribunal and 3 Stargates anyways. So it might be that we're going to start with Arbiters and then move into carriers if that doesn't work out. Which usually you want to like commit to one or the other, and I don't think you want to get +1 air weapons for going Arbiters. Interesting. I also don't think you want. I don't think you want to get 3 Stargates for going Arbiters either. Picks off 1 High Templar, which is more than 0. So they're dead. Yeah, there's the fleet beacon. So we are getting, it is like just a single Arbiter and then going into carriers, which is, again, a little strange, but I guess it might work out. Yeah. Nope. Holy sh! That's a lot of spider mine. That's a lot of dead zealots. A lot of extra minerals here, so I think, yeah, the switch to carriers is happening. Definitely needs to just throw down like nexuses and cannons at these bases here, just because you can. Or they need a lot more gateways. 1, 4, 6, 9 gateways versus 2, 6, 9 factories. Yeah, they need to build a lot more gateways in like this second main. But the Arbiter is coming out. Stasis is being upgraded, so that's good. They will be able to kind of come up here and maybe throw a couple stasises down here to junk up Kraazy's defense. But most importantly, they're just baiting them into not thinking about the carriers. Okay, so Kraazy is going to be moving out here, which means an attack down into here is going to be a lot more effective. There are carriers building, so the ground army is not as scary as it could otherwise be. So here comes the really nice storm on the tanks there. And now we're going to see if it's going to be as effective over here. Zealot bombs on top of the tanks, but the vultures in the back line clean it up pretty well. Storm goes down on a really nice group of tanks there. Other storms going down, but the Dragoons are melted. There just weren't enough Zealots body blocking there. And now SpaNiarD is going to have to rely on their carriers to come out and help defend this 5th base. But, well, they might not need to. Floating a lot of minerals. They are building 9 zealots at a time, but again, this is why you just want them to... Oh, and they did cancel this bottom main, so SpaNiarD won't be able to get their infrastructure set up in this base either. They're going to lose this third base. The Reaver's going to come down and die immediately. It's not really that effective once you're trying to just straight up fight. Here come the remaining zealots. 5 carriers in production, keeping that supply super high. Where are the carriers out on the map? I don't know. Oh, they're right here. So SpaNiarD is just going to play really close to the knife's edge. But the issue is, even if the carriers come up and start defending now, these vultures will tear through all the zealots, tear through all the probes. So it doesn't really matter, because carriers do take a long time to kill zealots, or to kill vultures, rather. Just because, you know, targeting them one at a time does not have a lot of damage output. But this should, at the very least, they're going to lose their expansion, but this should at least save the main. And they might be able to save the Stargate, but... yeah. Not a good moment. We can see Kraazy immediately switches over, starts building a shitload of Goliaths. Okay, and if these get a volley off into the mineral line, yeah, 1 probe dies. Yeah. And then they're going to start working up here. But here come the absolute... Oh, EMP on the science vessels. That's really cool. But that is a lot of carriers now. So I guess, yeah, we are going to have to ask the question, are carriers that good? The answer is yes. They are that good. But basically what Kraazy wants to do is Kraazy wants to zone the carriers into the center of the map and then just have a massive Goliath army be able to engage them on an open field. Also, most of SpaNiarD's probes are just going to filter down to these 2 remaining bases, and Kraazy getting their 5th base up. So, alright, here they go. Yeah, so the thing with the carriers, the way they want to engage the Goliath is you essentially just want to one-tap a Goliath, target it down, and then kind of, like, just do it one at a time. You definitely don't want to be spreading your damage around. And then you just want to have to hope that, like, they don't have enough Goliaths to nuke your carriers every time you do that. You need to abuse your superior range. But, you know, even though they're spamming out Goliaths, Kraazy is also able to just spam out carriers and then also get their... and then also get their, you know, zealot count back up and start rebuilding. SpaNiarD is not as reliant on gas as, you know, the mass Goliath army is. So SpaNiarD is able to do a bit more with their money, right? Because even though they're spending a lot of minerals, they're also spending a lot of gas. Or they're not spending as much gas, like, per production round, I guess. Would be a way to say it. Right? So again, you want to just pick off 1 Goliath, target it down so that all the interceptors come out. And when the Goliaths attack in there... Oh my god, where are the interceptors? You want to attack and then retreat and then move away. Target 1 down, get them all out. Target 1 down, get them all out. Target 1 down and retreat. Yeah, see? SpaNiarD's got it. But again, they have to start killing bases. They have to start putting pressure out here. If they can especially kill this, that's going to be really important because that is their only science facility. It looks like that is what they're going to be doing. Now this is going to be a bit dangerous because if the carriers get wedged like right in here, they don't really have a place to retreat to. Kraazy can surround them with the Goliaths. But... you know, take down the missile turrets, and then take down the... Okay, you know, taking down the command center works as well. And you want to hit the science facility. Whatever. Yeah, but see, the main army of Kraazy is mostly Goliaths at this point, and the Dragoons fight fairly well against Goliaths, so that's fine. Now these are going to come over. Take out this base. So SpaNiarD is getting a lot of good damage done, but the question is can they sustain this? Terran is mined out on all but 2 bases. I think they can, because SpaNiarD technically has 3-ish workable bases. I think we're at a point where neither player is really going to be able to take a safe expansion for a while. Treat all the interceptors, take them out one at a time. So neither player is going to be able to take a safe expansion for a while, and just the army count is just going to be way better. Yeah, see, there we go. GG. SpaNiarD takes it. Carrier's good unit. The classic. Alright, let's go back over to our OBS. Here's our wonderful splash screen as we prepare our final game of the day. Oh my god. It feels like I haven't casted in a while. I need to work this stamina back up. Because it's just like, back I used to be able to do 8-hour casts. Now a 2.5-hour one? What? This should be easy for me. Alright, let's hop into our last game. I forgot. I think it is, well, we'll see who it is. Here we go. In the top right corner, as our brown Terran player, it is advil. Bottom right, as our gray Zerg, it is type 100. Both players who have played pretty well today. They've had their wins. They've had, actually no, I think type 100, did they win all their games? They won their ZVZ. Advil won a game, I think. I don't know. We have some players. They've won some games. They've probably lost some games at some point in time. Maybe not this preseason group. And as our final game of the day, it is their duty to give us something entertaining. Overlord scouting counterclockwise correctly. Going to be a 12 hatch here from type 100, so nothing too aggressive, nothing too greedy, just pretty standard stuff. I mean, this is really common. Okay, so we've seen a lot of standard play. It's really common to see this in like preseasons, so you know, so I guess people have to keep in mind these games were played like back in January, and maybe even earlier than that. Jeez, but the point of the preseasons is just to generally like get some preliminary data into the CPL algorithm to help sort players by skill level. And so really often you'll see people just do the most standard stuff. Like you don't see a lot of cheeses in preseasons, even though it's a best of one and you would expect to see it, mainly because like people will treat preseason as like just a sort of like a skill barometer, right? So sometimes you have like cheesy like games where somebody might do like a 2-gate or something like that, but it's not super common. It's not as common as it is like in a regular season, watching a game and then being like, okay, they're trying to get a win for their team. This is like just trying to play well and get rated accurately. So you see a lot more of these just sort of standard games, nothing too crazy going on. Everything is kind of within the normal range of builds, right? Because even like the fastest game we saw today, which was the vulture pressure thing, that's like, it's not really a cheese. It's still within the normal range of TVT builds. It's just, it's like on the fastest end of them. Yeah. Oh shit, okay. Advil going for the mech build. So we've seen that once today and it worked out pretty well, but I guess the question is, did it work out well because they played well, or did it work out well because their Zerg opponent misresponded to it? No, it worked out well because they played well. You have to play well. You can do anything in Brew War, and if you don't play well, you're going to lose regardless, whether it's a hard counter or not. So it will be interesting to see. Like, so Advil is, of course, going to be going into Spire and getting Mutalisks just because it's, you just do that in ZVT. It's, in terms of, like, the options that you have and how much value you get out of all of those options, if you aren't trying to immediately win the game, Mutalisks give you the most long-term value regardless of what your opponent does, and they also sometimes just win you the game. So that's pretty good. So there's the machine shop. The armory is already up, and so yeah, we are going to see the Goliath build coming out of Advil, and we'll see if Type 100 is going to be a Muta Believer or a +1 flyer attacks. So it does look like Type 100 is going to want to dedicate a lot more pressure into the mutas, just like previously. Burrow being evolved. Again? So Burrow's interesting, I guess. No? You know what? I guess if your opponent is shit. Like, if you know your opponent is like, oh, they're going to be getting mech, right? Burrow can kind of work because they could be like dropping vultures in your main, right? And vultures will kill Zerg drones way faster than Marines. That's probably a lie. Marines kill things really fast. I don't know why you get Burrow. Burrow's funny is why you get Burrow. Yeah. Actually, no. If they're going mech, then they aren't getting an academy, and if they aren't getting an academy, they aren't getting a comsat station. If they aren't getting a comsat station, then Burrow just becomes, like, way better, because they're going to rely on science vessels and missile turrets to detect things, which means you can definitely, like, you can 100% sneak Zerglings, like, burrowed at expansions. Never mind, it's actually a fucking giga-brained fucking fifth-dimensional chess play. Because now this Zergling's gonna burrow here, and Advil won't be able to do shit about it until they get their science facilities. Damn, that's sick. There's the pressure. So one missile turret down means they can maybe start flinging worms those SCVs there. But they're just going to back off, probably come in, maybe come around here, try to get some pressure done in the main. But here comes the big Goliath push. We do have the sunken colony up, but we are going to need to see it. Maybe we need to see 2 or 3 more sunken colonies to prevent the Goliath from just walking up in here and like nuking this and just face tanking the damage. Because I think if they just were to walk in and then just target down the sunken, you would maybe lose 1 Goliath to it. But I guess that's what the Mutalisks are for, and that's a lot of Mutalisks. Yeah, picking off these retreating Goliaths is really important. Really good. Oh yeah, no. This, ooh. Yeah, like this is basically a dream engagement for the Zerg where it's like, it literally is like 4 Goliaths firing at a time when you have your entire Mutalisks coming in. Now this is going to be a little bit sketchier, but again, like the damage is getting spread across all these Mutalisks. It's not like, you know, it's actually focusing one or the other down. Here comes the switch to the more land-based strategy. We see sort of the upgrade suite for all of our ground units being upgraded. The Hydra Den done, immediately getting those faster Hydralisk movements. So yeah, we have the 3rd gas on the way, so we should be seeing the Zerg switch over to their more mid to late game tech. Mutalisks are just going to kind of poke in, and again, their main goal here is just to distract the Terran to make sure they don't put pressure while this switch is happening. No Queen's Nest yet, so I think we are just maybe just going for a pure Hydralisk kind of mid-game here, which can work. Hydras are pretty good against Goliaths. But in a few moments, we should see like a 4th being attempted. And then like the Queen's Nest and the 3rd level tech tree stuff. Things. There's the Academy coming up for Comsat stations. Very late. Whoop. Yeah, so Type 100 knows this is coming. Their Zergling is spotting all this movement, so the Mutalisks can come and retreat and respond and help pick off some of these guys. The tank is going to be coming up to help focus fire down on the sunken colonies. Yeah, I kind of like this move by Type 100. They're banking a lot of units in the back here so that when they do come forward and are being a little bit scared, and here's again that really good play here where like the SCVs come up and they just no fear start building the missile turrets, right? These things build so fast and you get so much value out of just having them here to brunt the Mutalisks coming in. But here they come. Hydralisk coming in. Yeah, no. Nope. Bye. No fucking way this goes badly for the Terran. Yeah. That has to be GG, because again, if Advil just fucking face tanks this sunken column, well, they don't have to. But they have like the full contain, and there's the GG. Type 100 does give up. They realize they completely lost their entire army, and that's the game. Wow. That Goliath build looks so scary. Like that timing attack around 12 minutes, that is some wild shit. Alright, well. That was our cast. All 8 games? Casted from group whatever. View. how many games was this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, all 8 games from preseason week 1, group 36. A lot of really fun ones in there. Great play from everybody, as expected of people who are that high up at the group chain. So yeah, hey, thanks for watching. If you aren't following the stream, go ahead and do that. If you aren't part of the CPL, you should join the CPL. And join us in wondering when CPL 10 is going to start. And yeah, that's all the shilling I have in me today. All right, so yeah, that's it. We're done. Where's my outro screen? Haha. All right. Nope, that's the one. There we go. And then this, and then nope, and then this, and then there we go. The full outro. All right. Thanks again for watching. Have a good day.